flipping back the calendar to highlight yesteryear's finest while exploring the vast archives in cinema history. This is the Movie Review Rewind podcast on Nashville Movie Dispatch.
Welcome back for another episode of the Movie Review Rewind podcast right here on Nashville Movie Dispatch. It's your boy, the host of the Movie Review Rewind podcast, the EIC at Sobros Network, Big Natural Stoney Keeley, joined as usual by the star of the show. Man, we could not do this whole thing without. He is the resident film critic at Nashville Movie Dispatch. He is a board member of the Music City Film Critics Association and a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association. Mr. Big Shot himself, Brandon Vick. Brandon, how are you doing on this this lovely spring day?
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, it's always nice to kind of get out of the throes of winter, and now it's still April is a tricky time of year because it's. You still have some cold days.
Yeah.
And then the next day it's like 70 degrees and
summer
sunny.
is coming.
And then the day after that there's a thunderstorm and tornado warnings here in Tennessee. It's kind of a volatile time of the year, but I do we're at that point where I'm like, I'm ready to get back outside again.
Yeah, man, that storm a few weeks ago took out that Whataburger.
If that happens, my gosh.
I said that one. I don't know which one. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
That's like the time that you, because we record these so far in advance, you said something about Rusty Wallace passing away.
Did he die?
No, he didn't. That one did not come
wait
true.
A minute.
But I was like, if that happens, that's gonna be.
And it's only stuff that really Southerners would give a shit about.
Like,
to be honest.
The Whataburger.
Yeah,
I would be devastated.
Yeah,
I get Whataburger like every Thursday night on my way home from football and other F words.
I pick on Whataburger because I haven't been in over a year because I sat in that drive-through for over an hour for what I consider to be somewhat of a Sonic burger. And I know what people are thinking. Well, man, those lines are long. No, there's like 3 cars.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They're slow no matter what day.
I have legit stopped by Whataburger at about 9 o'clock at night and been the only person in line. Literally the only person there, and I still sat for 20 minutes.
No.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. The fresh burgers, the fresh fries. It's never, you never get, I've never been to Whataburger. Like you go to Sonic and sometimes you bite into, I've bitten into a breakfast burrito that was like still frozen at Sonic before.
I think the lesson that I learned, and I don't want to sound snooty because listen, I love fast food, but my wife has actually gotten me away from it.
Oh, my wife hates it.
We actually don't. Like, if I do, it's because I chose to.
Yeah.
But the only fast food I probably do now is Subway.
Does Subway count?
Well, I don't know. I think some people do, some people don't. But I guess if you're looking for a go in order, take it with you in a bag kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's better than I don't do Taco Bell anymore.
I'm also a
diabetic, so I can't really start just eating all this.
Taco Bell has gotten expensive.
So my brother-in-law
crazy
went and got, oh my God, it was like 3 tacos and like 2 drinks or something. He said it was like $35. I'm like, Taco Bell is, man, go to Chili's.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be able to get like 5 tacos, burritos, some kind of combination
some box for like $10, and you got 500 tacos.
Yeah, it was something
what
like
hell?
you used to be able to eat good at Taco Bell on $10. It's
yeah.
like you'd have some left over.
You at
and
least
now,
had 3 soft tacos. I can guarantee you that.
I got I went the other day
Holy
and
hell.
I got a grilled steak or a grilled cheese steak burrito, a burrito supreme, and 3 soft tacos, and that was it.
Oh my God.
And you get a drink, and I round up for the donation to the schools or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it was $22, and I
my
thought,
God.
man, I really could go sit down at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And spend that tip included.
Yeah.
And there was one night that my wife and I went after a show where it was like 11 o'clock at night. We didn't eat dinner. We're just like, okay, we'll get something quick. And I got less than that. And then I think she gets like 2 chicken chalupas. and it was $35, and I'm like, how did this is so stupid.
I mean, you should at least have
And
like a cup of like bourbon or something to go along with it.
I looked at the receipt, and the burritos that I ordered were $7.99 a piece.
Wow.
And her chalupas were
Taco Bell.
$6 a piece.
Wow.
And I'm just thinking, like,
Does Wendy's still have that value thing?
Yeah, they do.
That's what I
I
used
mean,
to
you
do.
can still
you
do
still eat
Wendy's
kinda cheap
pretty
there?
reasonably. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Wow.
then, you know, I mean, McDonald's is
Whataburger's
still
not cheap.
McDonald's.
Sonic's never been cheap.
No, and Sonic is not.
It's not
it's
actually
not
that
worth,
great.
It's
no.
not worth the price.
No.
I like their breakfast burritos when they're not frozen.
Yeah, when it hurts your teeth.
Yeah, but Whataburger is. I mean, well, I got two burgers and then a chicken tender combo last Thursday night, and it was like $18.
Wow.
So I take that over Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But
If
I
you're
don't know
going to
why.
do it.
Like, where did we go wrong with Taco Bell? Where they just finally started saying we're going to jack up the prices.
I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's just Taco Bell, but I don't go enough any of those places
Yeah, that's
to
true.
know. But
That's true.
I have heard, like, I guess if you don't do it, but I've heard Wendy's, I've heard McDonald's is pretty expensive now, where
Is
any
it?
burger and like any kind of meal.
I still just get the McDoubles,
Is it?
and they're like two. Like,
I mean,
I literally have gone there, 2 McDoubles and a large Coke, and it's like $6.
the only thing I can think of is Obamacare.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they did it.
it's all Obama's
But
fault.
yeah, what a shame that one Whataburger's gone after that storm.
Yeah. So,
Mm.
but there is a reason that it's April.
Yeah.
We're doing
There's
the
a
movie
reason
review.
it's April.
the movie review rewind podcast on 2014's draft day is because the NFL draft is at the end of this month. So
And it's in Green Bay, isn't it?
it's in Green Bay. Yeah. Are you a big? I know you're a casual NFL fan, but
Yeah.
do you get into the draft at all?
No.
No.
It was fun when I worked downtown and the draft was in Nashville. And
That was a good year.
I walked
Yeah.
down. I didn't do anything with it, but I did walk down there
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of take it all in. But it was kind of like when CMA Fest. It's just really a shit show if you're down there and you don't want to be,
I feel like
because everyone who's down there is not from here.
yeah.
So, and you're just
Yeah.
trying to get out to your home.
That was
But-
fun, but it was fun to like not have to drive around down there.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
just
yeah.
go
You
spend
just
the day,
walk down. Yeah,
let the
that's true.
crowds kind of die out, and then my wife worked a few blocks out of downtown, so
Yeah.
we just
It's best when you have nowhere to go and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about getting in or out.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's guess that's a relaxing part of it. But no, not really. I guess with your football knowledge, I kind of know some stuff, but no, I don't
It's
really
a-
care. I mean,
it's
I
a
care
lot.
who the Titans get. And
Yeah.
what was their kind of mindset, but as far as who goes number one and all of that, not really.
so to make a football movie that's not really about football as much as it is
Yeah.
like a peek behind the curtain at the NFL draft.
Yeah.
But I say that loosely, quote unquote, a peek behind the curtain of the NFL draft. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you dig into this movie and you see it was considered a flop at the box office because it cost them $25 million to make
Oh,
this
yeah,
film,
no.
and it only grossed $29 million on its run. So, like, do you think?
When's the last time Kevin Costner had a hit?
Oh shit, I don't know, man.
Because it wasn't
Open
Horizon.
range, open
That
range.
may have been a hit. I'm not even sure if that was a hit. Like commercially,
Yeah, I don't.
great. I love Open Range, but I really don't remember the last time where he headlined a movie that made. That
I
people
don't.
go see
I don't know. I mean, how does the
Waterworld.
Yellowstone? I mean,
That's
how does
true.
that fit into this conversation? Because I mean, it wasn't like a
That's true. Well, I feel like
movie, but
that Horizon movie that he did was the first real
Yeah,
indication
he-
of like doing like because he wasn't doing Yellowstone yet, right? Not in 2014.
no,
There's no way.
no.
So you only know him as the, Kevin Costner, the movie star.
I don't remember him in Molly's Game, but he was.
Oh yeah, I do remember him. But again,
I mean, do we count? He's
I'm-
Jonathan Kent in Justice League.
no, because no one went to see Kevin Costner as Justin. I liked him in it. I liked him in Man of Steel.
What about The Highwaymen?
Yeah, that was a Netflix movie.
Yeah, so
Him and Woody Harrelson. Did you ever see it?
I never saw it.
It's
but,
okay. That's the ones who caught Bonnie and Clyde.
I mean, I don't remember. I'm back to 2005. I don't remember him in Rumor Has It. Open Range was 2003.
Yeah.
3,000 Miles to Graceland. Oh, my gosh.
Rumor Has It was the he played the boyfriend, the old boyfriend that got his mom pregnant with Jennifer Aniston. Still not, wasn't very good.
What about, I mean, is it like 99's for Love of the Game?
Yeah, probably.
96 Tin Cup?
Yeah. Okay, so 90s.
I mean, he's a
Really,
90s,
that's about it.
90s era guy, yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Kevin Costner aside, though, like, does this feel like, the reason I asked you, because I know you watch football throughout the season, pay attention,
Yeah,
like the
sort of.
playoffs, the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
casual fan.
Yes. That's
Casual
fair.
fan.
That's fair.
Even for like football fans,
Yeah.
does the NFL draft feel like too niche of a topic for this to be something like the casual moviegoers are going to be interested in? Because for one, I wonder, like, was the interest really there for a movie about the draft? But then when you see it executed, I mean, this film takes it as if you know nothing about the NFL. It's like they've got to tell you, this is Kansas City. The Chiefs play in Kansas City.
Yeah.
This is Jacksonville. The Jaguars are down
Yeah.
in Jacksonville. Like, there and some of the, like, the dialogue, we'll get into it, but like they're explaining what is happening.
Yeah.
It's as if they know that you're just a casual that probably doesn't
Maybe
really
you
understand.
came here for Kevin Costner and you
Yeah.
don't like football.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it just, like, I watch this movie every draft cycle. I think it's fun. Like, I've made jokes like, leave your milk and cookies out for Sonny Weaver or else your team will draft a linebacker or something, you know. Like, it's a fun bit, but I don't really think this is a great movie. And
No,
I just
not
just
really.
look back at how it was developed, and I just wonder, like, why was there really a need for this? Like, do you think this is something that casual football fans would be interested in? Sitting down in those meeting rooms, like, yeah, this is the movie we've got to make.
I mean, probably not. And I say that because I think the casual football fan likes basically the action on the field and not off of it.
Yeah, that's kind
You
of what I think. Like, this movie was geared towards. So the problem I have with it is, like, this is geared towards a deeper layer of NFL analysis. You're getting a look at something that is not just performance on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you don't really make the film accurate. Like, this is not this draft day. If you guys don't know this, draft day is not how the NFL draft typically works. There's a lot of inaccuracies with it. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, famous quote talking about this movie, just summed it up as, you know, Hollywood's going to do its thing.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah.
And I actually thought there was more to the movie than there was.
Yeah.
Because I remember him kind of making some what would appear to be dumb trades, but then somehow reworking it and getting what he needed. But
yeah.
But it wasn't what I thought it was. Like, I didn't think it was just trading with one team, going back to that other team and getting your number ones back. Because first of all, I just don't believe it.
Well,
But it's really about what is with that Bo Callahan fella. That's what the whole movie is almost about.
Which is, by the way, not something that NFL GMs wait until the day of the draft to figure out. Like, why didn't anybody go to his birthday
party? Well, it's
party?
almost like he wanted, which, by the way, I totally forgot Chadwick Boseman was in it.
Vontae Mack, yeah.
And on the total
Vontae Mack,
opposite
no matter what.
end of it, I forgot that Diddy was in it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. That was a little jarring, too, to hear that voice.
It's kind of weird just to see him now. But but like when he wanted Chadwick Boseman, Vontae Mack.
Yeah.
But then it's almost like that owner comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So he immediately plays this desperate guy that, who was that was doing it to him?
Seattle.
The Seahawks.
Yeah.
But then the whole rest of the day is then he starts questioning.
Yeah. Well,
What's
and then
with him?
so we find out at the end of the day what he wrote down on the piece of paper that morning was Vontae Mack no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's like, why? I like, did you just cave to the pressure of the owner without
Yeah,
even a
that's-
conversation?
That's what I've.
Like this
That's
man.
what it looks like.
This man, like, has the power to fire you on the spot, and you're just not going to tell him your plan. You just say, "Let me do my job." Like, why would you not in that moment be like,
Yeah.
"Well, actually, like, here's what I'm thinking," and communicate?
Yeah, or at least
I
say,
mean,
"Hey, I tell you what, I want Vontae, but what if I?" Because honestly, the whole movie is about
Mhm.
him getting what he already had as soon as the movie began.
yeah,
Except he's now lost 3 years of 2-round picks.
I know.
All because
well,
the owner says we had to have a flashy choice.
make a splash.
Right. But then goes on to make it way more complicated. And then at the end, confronts the owner while
Yeah.
he's trying to get the same shit back.
Yeah. Even if you got to look at it this way. For one, like the most implausible thing about this movie, giving up 3 first-round picks to trade up to draft a linebacker. A
Right.
linebacker.
Right.
So we talk about like positional importance in the NFL, not a quarterback, not a pass rusher,
Right.
not a wide receiver, a linebacker.
Yeah.
That he could have picked if he had stayed at 7. He could have had him all along.
Right.
And then we hear throughout the movie, like the analyst, if Cleveland didn't pick him, wasn't going to get picked until like the 15th.
Right. That was
So-
one of the first conversations he has with
Yeah.
Dante in the car. Is
Yeah.
basically, if you don't pick me,
Yeah.
I'm going to
So-
fall out of.
So he gives up three first-round picks to go up and knowing this is the guy that he wants. So now he has to pay Vontae Mack, number 1 overall pick money for a position that he probably would have had to have paid 15th overall money. So
Right.
it's a bad move
And
to begin with.
And and the whole thing is he's using this pick to find out who Bo Callahan is supposed to be, who people
Yeah.
assume will be,
yeah.
and then isn't. But
And it's the day of. He's not gathering intel on Bo Callahan until the day of the draft.
Right.
12 hours to
it's
go.
almost like he woke up and then all of a sudden thought,
Yeah. It's like,
I guess if the owner says he wants this, then I'm just going to do it. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the day getting back. He still lost the 2-round.
that's the people forget. They're
Yeah,
like,
he's
oh,
still-
but he got
he-
the picks back at the end of the
but-
movie. And it's like, no, he's still.
But what if the movie was just him having fun all day and then picking 7th, and it would have been the same thing? That's
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Could have focused on him and Jennifer Gardner more.
I look at it okay, this was just like Sonny Weaver. He should have been fired.
Yeah,
He should have
yeah.
been fired
I
for
think
what he
people
did
were
that
right
day.
when people were calling for his ass on the radio.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. It was.
that was a really an unnecessary roller coaster ride. And then they're celebrating at the end, and it's almost like they're celebrating because it didn't totally go to shit. I don't know if it was a good call,
No, I mean, it's
but he's just like, oh, got my 1st-round picks. What about those 2nd rounds? No.
still the
They're
bottom
gone.
line is like a couple of 2nd-round picks to trade up and get a linebacker and a running back.
But I will tell you, even football aside,
Yeah.
it's not a very I didn't think it was a very engaging movie. It's fine,
Mhm.
and I like Kevin Costner, but there's stuff about the character's dad that really kind of mean nothing.
Yeah.
They mean something to Sonny, but we don't get much of any of it. So then when the mom comes in and the sister comes in, they want to spread his ashes and stuff. And it's like, I think it's a way of him to kind of realize what's important,
Yeah.
but you don't get any of that. In the
No,
end, you
and-
certainly don't get, like, you don't really get a reward. for it. I don't like the Jennifer Gardner.
They shoehorn that
subplot.
in.
Yep, I
like
don't.
she's gonna have his baby. Like it's not just that they're
Oh,
in love,
not only that, yeah,
but
she's pregnant.
she's pregnant.
And guess
That's
what?
Like,
All of a sudden, his mom and them couldn't be happier.
yeah, it's
Now, when did that happen? Why did that news make them happy? But when they first met her, they acted like they didn't. No, I mean,
It's-
it just doesn't make sense. And then,
It's-
like, you've got these poor people that are like, what's his name from, is he in Smallville?
I don't know.
It's the quarterback that basically destroyed his office.
Brian Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Brian
he told
Drew.
him he wanted just to draft him, and then come to find out Brian Drew's a sweet kid too, because he
yeah,
held
it's
the
like
money.
Yeah, that's
It's like the Cleveland Browns are the most morally gifted team.
It is. Yeah, it's like they've figured
They've got
everything
the best
out.
of the best.
They figured it out, and they see something that no one else sees.
No.
I've just felt like this movie, like you fit into one of a couple of different camps when watching this. Like one, you just know nothing about the NFL, and you're fine with just watching Kevin Costner be Kevin
Pretend.
Costner.
Yeah.
Or you watch it just because you love the NFL draft. You're willing to suspend disbelief just to get the behind the scenes shots of the set and the stage and the cameos from all your favorite reporters and coaches and players and stuff like that. Because there is a lot of that in the film, and it does kind of, I think its best quality to me is that it does try to be a sort of celebration of one of the NFL's biggest events.
Yeah.
But
well, you see why NFL let them do it.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like, I mean, to me, there are times when it does kind of feel like one big commercial for the NFL draft.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about that as the strength of this film?
I mean, I think that's really the only thing it has going for it. I mean, if you want some kind of behind the scenes. Now, to me, I feel like it has to be more interesting than that. I do think it's quite believable in some aspects, including the Browns being number one, being the 7th.
Well, and it feels like that was like a calculated decision too, because it's like, let's pick this underdog city, this underdog franchise that people. You just say the Cleveland Browns, and they kind of know and understand the position that Sonny Weaver's in.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are elements to it that are believable and that do kind of draw you in a little bit, but it's all just very melodramatic, and like I said, anything with that relationship with Jennifer Garner was not like, I almost just, you don't even need it.
No,
and then the
I
shit
don't
with
think
the
so.
intern.
Yeah,
who cares?
It's I don't know. It felt.
I just like, it's so, I don't know. It's so half baked attempt that it's almost like they got the NFL's permission. So what do we get to do? We're going to have this guy where it's like, he's a good guy, but he's on the verge. And he's like, he did this shit to himself.
Yeah.
All he had to do was tell one guy, fire me after today, and I'll have you what I want. But it's almost like he had to get the first round pick to get his owner excited.
Yeah.
But still pisses him off anyway, is ready to fire him until he gets the number 1 picks back. And more importantly, he found out who the real Bo Callahan was. And for that, he keeps his job.
What do you think about the decision to go with that ending? Like, this kind of felt like one of those sappy, unrealistic movies. Like, I thought for sure that we would
Dennis Leary's fine being the coach now and
stuff.
stuff.
I thought for sure that we would get some like title screen saying like the 2014 Cleveland Browns went on to win 10 games and made the playoffs for the first time. But they just end it like, it almost felt like they were,
because I bet you they were shitty,
like trying to be cool. Like, well, the story's about the draft. The story's not actually about what comes after. This is just draft day.
You know, all those people that he tried to get, most of them got traded within the season.
Because, like, what happens to this story? How do you look at this story if the Browns go out and suck and these guys are
Bo
busts?
Callahan ended up he wasn't a bust at all.
He's the MVP of the league.
MVP
the Seahawks
of the
win
league.
3 Super Bowls in the next 3 years. Yeah. I think that was kind of like,
they didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, like, but it was the type of movie to me that you're justified in finishing the story. Like, I mean, I don't know. It felt like Ivan Reitman and company maybe getting a little too cute.
I do kind of get where they're not going to kind of show you games because, I mean, you know, it is called draft day. But you could have probably come up with something to show like that it was worth it, you know, and that maybe he was right.
Yeah.
Without having to go into a full thing, you know. But I had no idea Ivan Reitman did this one.
Well, that's the perfect segue. This was actually his last film.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Well, I know he produced a lot throughout his life. But
this was the last of his, I think, 14 directed features. Wait, let me count.
Oh, wow.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, going back to 1971's Foxy Lady. It's a mixed bag for me. I mean,
well, Ghostbusters is probably like
Ghostbusters. I think we'll eventually talk about Stripes on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
1981, Bill Murray.
Yeah.
It's kind of held in high regard in comedy history.
It's
I've never seen it. I would like to watch it and talk about it on this podcast
like
at one
with,
point.
Caddyshack and stuff. It's made a name.
Yeah, and then, he did Twins, he did Kindergarten Cop, Dave, and then in the 2000s, Evolution, My Super Ex-Girlfriend, No Strings Attached, and then Draft Day in 2014 was his last film. So
I didn't even realize he did My Super Ex-Girlfriend. Ugh.
Yeah, that's
the Uma Thurman one,
It is.
right?
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there are some duds in his filmography.
I think he's remembered more for what he did in his earlier career than
absolutely.
the later.
I don't think. I think a lot of people are probably like you, like probably didn't even realize that he did this movie.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't realize he did No Strings Attached either.
Yeah. So, and then I don't have if he did any TV or producing or anything.
He did
like
do
that.
some producing. I do know that he did a lot of producing.
A lot of it. Yeah. The filmography is quite different. Producer only. He's got a producing credit for Baywatch, the Dwayne Johnson version. Got a producing credit for Up in the Air.
Yeah, well, his son directed it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Jason Reitman came up recently talking about Saturday Night.
Yep.
So what do you where do you think, since we've kind of hashed it out a little bit, Draft Day ranks in his filmography? And do you think it is? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he could have spent his time doing something else.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, if it wasn't Draft Day, like if the movie wasn't Draft Day and it was on anything else, based on anything else, I don't think it's a highlight on Reitman's career. I don't think it's a highlight on Costner's career. I think more than most probably don't even remember this movie coming out.
Yeah, and I mean, it was even released in April of 2014.
Ouch.
Like
It was
a
even
couple of
released
weeks
when the
before
draft
the
was
draft.
happening.
Yeah, and it's still like it didn't draw people in. I'm with you. I tend to think that Ivan Reitman's legacy is there in the 70s,
70s and
80s, 90s even, like, but these last few movies are just it's kind of a shift though too. It's like Draft Day feels drastically different from some of the comedies that he did early on.
Well, they're not risky, they're not edgy, they're not anything. You want to talk about playing it safe. I can't think of especially a sports movie playing it this safe where, I mean, you're not even getting into the weeds a little bit about the draft.
Yeah.
Like it just so happens it's Draft Day. It's not necessarily about the inner workings of the draft.
Yeah.
It's just getting on a call, and all he did was do one, trade up so he could go back and get like that. That was the entire actual draft. The rest of it was literally an investigation on Bo Callahan and why he was a dick.
Yeah, I think it got mixed reviews from critics. I think I'm with the consensus on this, which appears to be not very good. It's certainly not any sort of revolutionary filmmaking, though. I do think like the swiping screens showing the GMs on screen at the same time when they're on the phone. I think like the way it's edited kind of does add makes you feel a little level of chaos that's going on in these HQs.
I will give you that. There's a hint of it, but then there's those other things with like the intern or him and Jennifer Garner stuff that totally
it just
interrupts whatever kind of urgency is felt.
I like that touch to make the film, to convey a sense of chaos that does go on in team headquarters, but I wouldn't say it's like a particularly well-made, well-acted film by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And the consensus seems to be that, yeah, it's not the best movie, but it's palatable for a sports movie. And I can at least agree with that.
Yeah.
As like it's just kind of fun, easy watching.
Yeah, depending on what what you want out of it with this particular
Let me see.
I guess with this particular story and setting, where you can kind of, like you said, you can kind of spot the authenticity of some of it.
Yeah.
But when I watch something like this, it just looks so like wimpy.
Yeah.
Because when he's talking on the phone and and then like, he doesn't give the right answer and he hangs up and it's like, what's he gonna do and stuff. Then I think of that scene when there's some trading going on in Moneyball. And that's how you do a behind the scenes sports movie. Now, listen, Moneyball I think is one of the best sports movies ever done. And keep in mind, they don't show you a lot of baseball.
Yeah.
But my God, if it's not the most interesting, exciting, smart way to do it. Now, I'm not saying Draft Day should try to achieve that, but that should be how it's done, because there's all these kind of, complexities in how they even get to Draft Day.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to do it that day, but then I feel like, even in Moneyball where Brad Pitt, like with his daughter and stuff, but you know what? They actually kept most of the shit into what they're doing, like into the process.
Yeah.
And just because Jennifer Gardner works there and she's like, I don't want to be a secret, it almost becomes one of those, like, I don't know, just one of those lazy, silly rom-coms, but you got the NFL logo. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the rare occasions where the audience and the critics are pretty close on Draft Day, from Rotten Tomatoes, 60% on the tomato meter, 65% on the popcorn meter. I still kind of feel like that's
a bit high to me.
If you're not just watching it for the ritual of like the celebration of the NFL draft here, I think that's a little generous to me. I would have it. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So I've got it at 50% right there, right down the middle. I think there are things that are endearing about it, but I think overall you're watching it for the commercial for the NFL draft that it is. You're not watching it for some profound story or anything like that. But the critics' consensus from Rotten Tomatoes reads, it's perfectly pleasant for sports buffs and Costner fans, but overall, Draft Day lives down to its title by relying too heavily on the sort of by-the-numbers storytelling that only a statistician could love. By-the-numbers storytelling. It is very plain. Like I said, I feel like there's a lot of the dialogue that is explaining the rules. They're telling you what's happening at the NFL draft because the movie doesn't presume that you know what you're watching. And if you don't
know what he gave up for that number 1 draft pick, I think about 17 different people repeat it over and over.
And I
let him do his job. And here's the thing: he's not doing his job.
But the thing that also frustrates me about the film is that a lot of these characters do play sort of stereotypes as like this wheeling dealing GM, this disgruntled owner that likes to throw his weight around, this retread head coach that wants to prove he still got it, and like these players that have character concerns and all this stuff. Like there's a lot of really cliched stuff in this film too that I think ultimately hurt it, unless you're just willing to go in and just have some fun with it.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. I think if you're not really looking for anything that has really any meaning, and you just want to see football players and teams and they pick them.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out to Sam Elliott.
Good
for him for being the Wisconsin head coach.
Yeah, that was a funny, I guess you would call it a cameo as well. I've got one more question before we get out of
Okay.
here. What is the best Dennis Leary movie? Because
Jesus.
I actually find myself liking Dennis Leary when he does pop up in certain movies. I liked him in The Amazing Spider-Man as was he Commissioner Stacy, I guess. I don't remember quite. I just watched No Good Deed on Netflix with Ray Romano, Lisa Kudrow, and he plays like the shithead deadbeat.
Is that the
brother.
Netflix
Mm-hmm.
show? Oh, okay. Oh, I heard that was good.
And I thought it was really good. First of all, I like dramatic Ray Romano. That's kind of a jarring presence. But Dennis Leary was good. Like there are certain roles that it feels like Dennis Leary was born to play. But I don't know, like looking through his filmography, I'm like, well, shit, is like Ice Age his best movie? There's like
not
the Sandlot maybe his best movie. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I know like he's really popular for the 7 seasons that he did Rescue Me.
Yeah. He's made a living off of TV because right now he's in Going Dutch, which started this year.
Yeah.
And the No Good Deed, like you said, which they do come and go.
It's like even in Draft Day, even if he's playing this like stereotypical football coach, I'm like, he's got some of the better lines of the movie.
He's made. Let me tell you, Ice Age has
good for
funded
him.
his house and everything. But
good for him.
It's their shit with just like Scrat's Continental Crack Up Part 2, which was a short. His voice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he gets paid for all of it, but I liked him in Recount, but that was a TV movie.
I mean, he's had a hell of a career. But I don't know.
He has, but I'll be honest, as I go through these, I don't like...
What is the best? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the best Dennis Leary movie?
if I'm looking, he was in Small Soldiers and A Bug's Life.
Yeah,
but again,
that's
his
true.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just...
Pretty interesting career to look at. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll have to go with... Operation Dumbo Drop.
I loved him in The Sandlot. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah. I remember Two If by Sea.
I never saw that one.
The problem is that, like, for instance, Wag the Dog is a good... But I'll be honest, I don't know what... I have no idea. He was in M. Night Shyamalan's first movie that had Rosie O'Donnell in it called Wide Awake. I have no idea what he even was.
Well, you need to add that to the list then.
He's in the Thomas Crown Affair, the Pierce Brosnan, Rene Russo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I honestly, I think it's more of like the voice is
good for Dennis Leary.
Cream of the crop and TV.
Yeah, go watch No Good Deed. Let me know. It's a super easy watch.
I want to watch it. And there's he wrote and directed. Ray Romano wrote and directed a movie called Somewhere in Queens that was a really underrated movie last year that I really liked.
Oh, we need to add that to our underrated movie list.
I think it was Somewhere in Queens, but yeah, and he did something else. It's a Netflix movie with one of the oh my gosh, he does those creep movies. And they're brothers. They're in a movie together. It's a very sweet, but it's a kind of a dramedy. But he's really good in that too.
There we go.
So,
all right, I got it jotted down. I'm going to go watch it.
Good for Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
And don't ever give up on Sam Elliott.
Do you have a rating for Draft Day? Have you added it to the letterbox?
I'd probably say no. I'm bad. I really like to just add new stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to add everything.
Yeah. Well, most of the stuff I know that I've watched, but the new ones I try to keep up with, or if I'm ranking stuff.
But you don't have that sense of pride, like I want to have the biggest letterbox ever.
Yeah, no, I don't guess so.
Oh, I've got to have like everything I watch has to go on there.
No. I'd probably say a 2.
Really?
It's fine. Well, it's fine enough, but it's not really a good movie. Now, I'm also not probably the audience it wants because Draft Day doesn't, get my blood pumping.
There's a lot of,
and if I watch this movie, I would think, God, the Draft Day sucks.
There are. I was reading through like some of the discourse on it, and there are a lot of NFL people that watch this movie and are like, this is the stupidest shit we've ever seen.
Well, I guess one, that doesn't surprise me,
Yeah.
but it also doesn't bother me because, I mean, that's the same argument where people like, who read the book and they're like, this movie sucks. It doesn't do this.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
then, watch, get a job at the NFL or just read a book. I don't know,
There you go.
But I'll be honest. For me, back then, it was probably more of like a Kevin Costner thing
Yeah.
than a football thing.
Yeah.
But no one's really doing much in this one.
Yeah.
And watching it now, thinking that it was like a little more complex, and when I watched it for this, I thought, oh my God, like it's actually like it is by the numbers. There's hardly any excitement, even when the last 30 minutes is the draft on the clock.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting, especially when you're thinking about what has led you here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just from a narrative standpoint, I guess it's Franklin Jella's fault, who plays the owner, because that was the only thing that happened that day that changed it. And the Seahawks called like, I can't believe he's not taking it. And then he's like, oh, you want it back? Well, that $7 million cap. And I'm like, huh? What?
Yeah. They just really make NFL GMs look like that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing.
Right. But it also is like, hey, go ahead. Just tell me the truth. We don't know anything. Well, just tell me the truth. Well, it's a character thing for me. Okay, well, but when they come back, oh, okay. Like, everyone just takes everyone's word for it.
Yeah.
Like, the GMs are supposed to be where, like, behind the scenes, we talk like real men, and it's all honest.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, that's going to do it for our discussion of
Anyway, enjoy the draft.
2014's draft day. We'll see what the Titans do with the first overall. They might not even have the first overall pick at the time this is released. Right now, when
From
we're
what
recording
I understand, a lot happens before draft day.
Yeah. Based on Draft Day, the
That's
movie.
what
based on
heard.
Kevin Costner. Never forget Vontae Mack, no matter what, but Sonny Weaver absolutely should have been fired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, ain't no GM looking like Kevin Costner.
No. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Movie Review Rewind podcast. As a reminder, you can check out all of our work at Nashville Movie Dispatch. Reviews, lists, podcasts, it's all up there, hitting your inbox straight to you, nashvillemoviedispatch.substack.com. Subscribe to the Nashville Movie Dispatch podcast wherever you take in your shows. We're out there in these internet streets, baby. We ain't too hard to find. For Mr. Big Shot, Brandon Vick, I'm Big Natural Stoney Keeley. And until next time, you stay classy, moviegoers. That's a line for a different podcast. Or do I say it on both of these? I don't know. I can't remember. Do you remember what my sign-off is for this show?
I think it's the same one.
Okay. Stay classy, moviegoers.